Well, hello everybody. This is Dr. Novak again, and welcome to my channel. If this is the first time you're here. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about a particular individual, Patrick. And Patrick took a lot of pictures of him setting up his aquarium. In fact, he just set it up very recently this year. But he has a few items that, well, I ordered one of them. I think I told you in my last video that I ordered one of them. And I think it's a good idea on how he did it. He uses stainless steel screening to go over the plenum, which I have seen, fine screening, and he uses a lot of hot glue. But I'll show you the pictures of exactly what he did in case you're interested. But I'll read to you what he said, but first I want to address something. Okay, so I'm going to get into this. I think the reason they say it is they're trying to embarrass people not to use it. I really believe that. They're trying to embarrass somebody that, oh, you use that? You know, it's like, yeah, so what? You know? I think that's why they try to do it, just to try to embarrass people. And then they look stupid because it's like, yeah, well, you use an air pump, don't you? Yeah, that's old technology, and we can go on and on. But anyway, enough of my ranting. I'll get into this. This is going to be long enough. It says, hi, Dr. Nog. After listening to countless hours of YouTube videos on substrate infiltration, dirted tanks with the Wastat method, deep substrate, and the like, I've decided on go on with your method with a slow-moving plenum. Let's see. I do not want any bubbles in my aquarium. A lot of people say that. They don't want the noise of the bubbles in the aquarium. Makes sense. So I found perfect, I think, small pump sold in twin sponge filter package. Now, like I said, I bought one of these because I saw the way it was designed, the way the pump's been designed in the sponge filter, and it can be used for a plenum. And I'll show you more about that in this video. Let's see. It's a planted tank, and my substrate is a mix of sea-chem fluoride black, fluorite black sand, and Carib Sea Peace River gravel. Let's see, I haven't had a tank in more than 15 years, but I was an angelfish breeder back then with over 1,200 gallons of water in my basement. If you're interested, you can contact me to discuss, and I can provide you with details and pictures. And regards, Patrick. Now, Patrick was nice enough there from Canada. I think it's Quebec. I think he's a French Canadian. Yeah, he's a French Canadian. And I said, don't worry about it. My wife speaks fluent French. So I said, don't worry about it. Even if you have to write something in French, I can ask my wife and she'll just, translate it for me. But anyhow, let's see. I think I got that right. But anyhow, he is a French Canadian. But he took a lot of pictures, which is very good. A lot of people like to see photographs of how people set up their aquarium, so they themselves may want to set up their aquarium the same way. So let's get into this video, and I'll show you exactly how he set it up. Apparently, if you watch the video and look at his pictures, you're going to see that it took him no more than he started and get the whole thing set up, and by the next day, he wrapped everything up. So let's say 2 days he was working on it, because you can tell, it's winter up there, there's snow and everything. He just did it this year. And so it didn't take him long to wrap it up. And I thought to myself after I saw his pictures that, what is the big deal why people act like, oh, Plenum, it's so much work. It really isn't. It just really isn't. Uh, you know, to make one and to execute it really isn't a lot of work. I mean, if you see his pictures and all, you realize it's not that much work to do. And now with hot glue guns and stuff, which I have used hot glue guns in my tank, without the glue, having negative effects on the aquarium or the fish or anything, it goes a lot easier with a hot glue gun because it's very fast to use a hot glue gun, and the glue dries almost instantaneously after it cools down. So we'll get into this video that Patrick has sent me, and I'll talk about what he sent. And I think you'll enjoy it. And don't forget to stick around because I'm going to show you exactly what he used for his plenum to move the water, which I think is pretty good. I don't know why I didn't catch this, but you can buy it on Amazon. And he shows he's using more of a natural CO2 maker. In other words, the one where you mix things together and make your own CO2, where you don't have to go out and fill your tank up by a welding supply house. That's what I do. I just take my CO2 into Orlando, Florida, and to a welding supply house and exchange the tank and everything. They give me a new tank already filled. Within a minute, I'm in and out of there. And I think it's like $27 to have it filled up. And it lasts me for 9 months. 9-10 months, to fill up the CO2. So let's get into this video. Okay, as you can see by the photographs that I've been showing you and the photograph here of how he's got it set up, nicely hardscape already. It doesn't seem very hard to do. Let's see. It's a 120 mesh stainless steel screen he uses over the plates. And with hot glue and crazy glue he uses, but no, that's pretty good. I've seen that steel mesh. You can get that on Amazon, or you can buy that at Lowe's. It's just a screen door stainless steel mesh. Now what he's doing here, filling the tank up, this was shown in books back in the 60s. I have books from the 60s and how to fill up your aquarium, and this is exactly the way they do it. They do it with a plate and fill it up. And as you notice, what he's using there is that for his siphon and to fill it up, that's the same thing I use. I did a video on different manufacturers, Aqua, and I did one on Hager and let's see, Python. I think that's the Hager one right there. And it comes with this screen, and that's the one I use to fill up and empty my aquarium because it has a screen at the very end. But he shows you that. Let's see. He believes that the flow rate of the pump that he'll be using, and that's in the left-hand corner. And another thing, did you notice how he put his heater horizontally and not vertically? Remember, I had a video on that where if you put your heater horizontally, the controller that turns it on and off is usually at the end, and it won't be affected because the heat rises. And you'll actually see the heat waves coming up. But you can tell it's a newly set up aquarium by all the air bubbles all over the glass and everything. But that looks good. Now you tell me, does that look like there's even a plenum in that tank? No. You wouldn't even be able to tell. If you walked up to that tank right now, you couldn't tell that, well, did I lay my stones directly at the bottom or did I use a plenum? And personally, you can't even tell because of the way he's designed it. Yet, if you look on the side or the back, you can see the plenum. You can see he's got no gravel or sand that migrated underneath the plenum, because he used that screen. It's the same thing I use. I used the screen, but it was nylon, black. He's using stainless steel. But if you look at the sides and the front, no, you couldn't tell there's a plenum in there. I couldn't tell until you look at the very back, where he has the back opened up, where you can actually see the plenum and see if anything's down there, if any dirt is down there or anything else. But look how nicely he's done it. And like he said, he didn't want the noise of the bubbler or anything else. And you can't even tell in the very left-hand corner that that's where he's got the water movement going from the plenum. He believes it's going to be about 40 gallons per hour. I'm sure there's a switch or a set switch on it to slow it down like most pumps have, where you could speed it up and slow it down. I'm not positive. But here's a close-up picture of the motor. And also next to that, right of that, there's your CO2. Of course, he's not monitoring it because I don't think he's going to produce enough CO2 from his CO2 maker to really have to worry that he's going to get 30 parts per million of CO2. I don't really think he's going to have to worry about that. So here is his CO2 maker. I know that F-Zone, I think, makes a CO2 maker, and that's a CO2 generator. And they give you all the chemicals and stuff you're going to need to, I guess, get started. And basically, it ferments in there, makes CO2, and you don't have to get like a CO2 container refilled with this. But you're going to have to buy the stuff that goes in there. Usually the manufacturer will sell it. But anyhow, here is the double sponge filter. And maybe I've seen this, but maybe I haven't seen it. But as you can see, once again, it's made by Aqua. Remember, Aqua makes other things like a CO2 disperser. Remember Aqua? I did it. But look how it comes down small, so it will fit right over. It looks like it'll fit right over the 1/2 inch that I use. So I'm going to try it out and see if it fits over the 1/2 inch and slow it down to the slowest it could be. Because that would be great. That he's right. You don't need to buy an air pump. And with the price of this, I think, like I said, I bought it off of Amazon, 29 bucks. That's about the price you're going to pay for air pump. And then you got to get airline tubing. You got to get a check valve, right? And you have the bubble noise. Hey, look at this. It looks like 1/2 inch tubing. You could have it either go straight up, blowing straight up, or off to the side. If you have a heater, you could have it blowing towards your heater. It looks pretty good. I'll look at it and give a review of it, but it looks like this is one way of, if you're going to make a plenum and you don't want to use an air pump. Another thing I like about it, it says it does like 80 gallons an hour. Another thing I like about it is, let's say you're doing a 4-foot or 6-foot tank and you put the uplift tube in the center, use something like this instead of air bubbles. It's up to each individual, but I know that some people say, I don't want the sound of the air bubbles. I don't want to hear them. They're noisy. That's old school, whatever. Okay. I think this is a good choice. It looks like it was made to order, and they have it in 2 different sizes. So if you have a small tank, you can get the smaller size, and if you have a larger tank, you can get the larger one. Hey, I think this will work great, but I will try it out. But anyhow, that's all for this video, all I have. And I want to thank Patrick for sending me so many pictures of how to set up his tank with the plenum. I'm sure he'll keep in touch with me, and I'll keep in touch with him and let you know what his progress is. But anyhow, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe so you can keep up with my latest videos. And until next time, happy fish keeping, and thank you very much for watching.